welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good morning, WKRA 92.7 The Change. It is your morning host, DJ Kitty, here with my co-host, Miss Morningstar from Our Plugs, a Community Connection. Today is Wednesday. Today is Hump Day. Today is another good day to be above ground versus below. I hope everyone had a great night's rest. Everyone just took some time for yourself. You know, Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, eat you some tacos, maybe have you something cold to drink or not, and slept well. Come on in this morning, get your breakfast ready. I'm thinking grits and eggs and maybe some sausage. Ooh, that does sound good. With a cup of coffee. Ooh, that sounds good. Pretty good. Anywho, today's Wednesday. We're going to jump right in because we have a great topic, healthy boundaries, and we're going to talk about implementing them, and much needed, especially now. So come on in, drink your water. 16 ounces is the goal. I've got my water here. 16 ounces is always the goal. First thing in the morning, rather. Just the morning. You got to drink more than that. 64 ounces all day is the goal. Drink your water, have some coffee. Come on in. Let's get started on the show. But before we can actually dive in, we must start with our morning affirmations. And those affirmations are given to us by our affirmation queen, Mrs. Morningstar. Good morning, sis. How are you?
Well, hello. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy Hump Day. My other favorite day of the week, Wednesday, because we almost there, y'all. We
Almost
are
there.
almost to the end of the road. So, good morning. I hope everyone is having a pleasant morning. And we are going to start off our mornings right with some affirmations, some positive affirmations. And this time we're going to focus on our general mental health because today is Mental Health Day. Another one of my favorite topics because we need that break. Of course, y'all know we're going through this in this here Decepticon world. So we need some mental health breaks.
No, yeah.
We do. We do.
Decepticon. Yeah.
Decepticon world, yes. So let's get into the mental health
Sure.
affirmations. Number one, healing is possible for me. Number two, I am enough. Number three, I am not my diagnosis. Number four, my diagnosis will not define my life. Number five, I can challenge my negative thoughts with positive ones. Number six, I'm thankful for the positive things in my life. Number seven, I love myself and who I am. Number eight, I care for myself daily. Number nine, I share my feelings with honesty and courage. Number 10, I have many positive things in my life. Number 11, I treat
Amen.
myself with love and kindness. Number 12, I am worthy of love and happiness. Number 13, my mental health challenges don't define who I am. Number 14, better mental health is possible for me. Number 15, I'm happy to be me. Number 16, I value my mental health as much as my physical health. They do go together, y'all.
They do.
Number 17, how I feel matters. Number 18, I am more than my trauma.
Please
Number
be your
19,
trauma. Please be
yeah.
more
Be more than that trauma, y'all.
Okay.
19, I love myself unconditionally. Love you first. Number 20, I'm grateful for all that I have in my life. 21, there are people out there who will help me. Believe that. That is a true statement. Number 22, I am mentally strong. Number 23, my feelings are valid. Number 24, my mental illness is not only a small part of who I am, it's only a small part of who I am. 25, reaching out for support shows strength. 26, I am allowed to have mental health struggles. 27, I accept myself for who I am. And finally, 28, I deserve all the happiness in this world.
I agree with that 1,000%. You know, we do deserve all the happiness. Why not? Why would we not?
Why settle?
Why settle?
Nothing, don't ever short yourself.
I had to find my fan, because if you don't deserve the happiness, then who deserves it?
That's right.
Whoever said that we can't have it all? Who said that? Who said that?
Don't believe it. Don't
Don't
believe the hype,
hype.
y'all.
Don't believe the hype. Y'all know we still love that song
I
because it
still do
rings
too.
true. Yes, I still sing it too. No, I deserve it all. And why would I not go for it all? I
Right.
want you guys to think about that. Always go for what you want. As long as it's legal now. Don't do anything illegal.
Yeah.
Please, because we got enough criminals in the world doing things that they
We
should.
do.
I ain't gonna say no names, Donald Trump, but last I checked, 34 felonies is quite a bit. Has anybody ever in the that makes the Guinness Book of World Records the most felonies ever?
But he trying to get in some book, so hey, he might as well get in that book for having the only person in this country leader with 34 felonies. I mean,
Yeah, he's the only one.
sound like a record to me.
Sounds like a record to me too. His homeboy trying to get him a Nobel Peace Prize. You think he'll sit down somewhere? Yes, girl. I saw that today and said,
Has
"Oh,
several seats, please.
seats. No, don't even have a seat. Go get you a whole bench and just sit on it.
He
Lay
said,
on
"Lie
the bench.
down,
Lie down. Not lay. Not sit down. Lie down."
lie down."
So let's go ahead and hop into the weather. Ooh, y'all, the weather has been acting up in Texas. I don't look, Mother Nature, I get it, honey. We are not happy either, but come on now. Raise up off us. You can't really predict the weather. However, you can tell when things aren't right in the universe because the weather has been acting up. Let's just put it like that. The weather is acting up, it's acting out. You know how your kids act out, you got to put them in timeout? The weather is acting out. So let's start with Holly Springs. Holly Springs, you have a high of 85 and a low of 71 today. Winds are out of the west southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. There's going to be a mixture of clouds and sunshine early in the morning and then cloudy in the afternoon, late evening, and then a possible thunderstorm. So just take your umbrella. Take your umbrella just to be safe. Humidity is at 78% in the morning, 95% in the evening. Grass pollen is high and air quality is good. Memphis, Tennessee, a high of 87, a low of 73. Winds are out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It will be cloudy most of the day with a stray shower or thunderstorm. Humidity is at 75% in the morning and 88% in the evening. Grass pollen is high and air quality is moderate. Hot of Houston, a high of 88, a low of 77. Winds are out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour, partly cloudy in the morning, scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. Humidity is at 73% in the morning, 84% in the evening. Grass pollen is low, ragweed is moderate, and air quality is good. All I can say now is the weather has been acting up. We are projected to have rain for the rest of the week. So we're taking a beating. Ever since he signed that doggone bill, we haven't, I mean, it was raining before, but it's getting down now. Mother Nature said, okay, y'all want a trip? Okay. How about this? How about y'all deal with get inside, stay inside since y'all want to act up and y'all want to put this fool in office and he wants to take away everything. Go inside. You're on punishment. That's all I got. We're on punishment right now, and hopefully it'll let up. Hopefully
Somebody upset. I would just
somebody's
say
upset.
that. I mean,
Karma, Mother Nature, all of
karma.
them.
Yeah,
I
because
think
that
they got
they've
together
been working together.
and said, you know
I'll tell
what?
you that.
I got something for all of them. I have something for all of them. And now look, I blame Frumpy. I blame the man with the dead hand.
It's
Um,
always his fault.
it
What?
is. Even though, they're all trying to blame Biden and everybody, it was his administration. Dude, Biden had everything in place. Obama had everything in place. It's only you, the one that's coming in messing up everything. Speaking of messing up, so the Supreme Court, y'all, the Supreme Court is ghetto. Y'all are ghetto at this point.
Except three of them, but the other ones is ghetto.
They're just as ghetto as they come. Trailer parkish. They decided to lift the order that blocked Trump's mass federal layoffs. So now they're going to start doing the layoffs again. I'm sick of y'all. Have we not learned anything over the weekend? Did
No,
we not
they
see
ain't
what
learned
happened
nothing.
over the weekend? I mean, over the weekend we had a couple of, well, the death toll right now is like 108. I think I saw 105 or 108.
Yeah,
It's
it's
up
up
there.
there. It's up there. And they still got to recover some more people because
Yeah,
now it's a recovery mission.
it's a recovery mission now, which means they're not out to
I
rescue
think it was
anybody.
30 children and 50, 57 or something like that adults
Yeah, it's pretty
gone.
sad. I saw a video of a lady who was on the second floor of her apartment, and the river was it was massive, and it's scary. And she was saying they're telling us to evacuate. And I'm like, how? You got a boat? I
She
mean,
was she was
she's on the
I take it
second
she
floor.
was safe on the second floor because
No, it was still rising.
oh it's still rising. Oh,
It's scary. But
how's she gonna get out?
they had no warning. And now the next day, once the water is already there, now they're telling them to evacuate. Y'all a little late, aren't y'all? Y'all behind the eight ball. And then I heard was it Ted Cruz, Raphael say, or what, it was the mayor, I believe. He said, well, if we had known, well, that's the thing. You don't know. That's why you have
Well, the
protections
mayor
in
had
place.
pointed out he didn't find out until 5:30 in the morning because there was no warning system in place.
Yeah. Yeah. If you strip out all protections, what are you left with? I've been saying it. We're out here bucket naked, just out here,
We
willy
out
nilly.
we out here.
Anything goes. Who knows? You know. But yeah, they're about to do more layoffs and more cuts are coming. So, what next? I know that there's 45. They're looking at removing 45,000 people from the IRS. Well, I guess you don't need 45,000 people when you done took away the Social Security. All the tax. You done took it away. You, the benefits, they're gone. No, where's the money, Lashandra? I don't know. I don't know. Today is a day of discovery. Yeah, quit firing the help. You're right, Mrs. Jack. Quit firing the help because how can you expect our nation to thrive and succeed if everything and everyone and everything that we've put in place is removed? How are we supposed to do this? And then my husband called me today and told me don't buy blueberries, don't buy um, strawberries, and don't buy avocados because of course we're getting reports that they're contaminated. But what do you think is going to happen when the people that pick the fruit are no longer there and eventually they'll get the fruit in, and are all the protections still in place? Do we know? Can we trust it? I just don't know. I'm at a loss for words when it comes to some of the things that are coming out of this administration. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth in my Chris Tucker voice? Frumpy has got us in the worst position ever. I've told many people, grow your own fruits and vegetables. It's the only safest way. You know what you're putting, what kind of soil, you know what you're putting in there. You know that you're not contaminating the fruits and the vegetables when they are ripe and ready to be picked. Who knows what these people are doing? And if, the workers that we've relied on and trusted for years are no longer there, I don't know. I don't know if I want MAGA picking my fruit. I don't know. They don't wash their hands. So I'm kind of on the fence about MAGA picking my fruit. What do you have for us today, sis? Oh yeah, you're on mute. Yes, ma'am.
But you be covering. But yeah, just to touch on the piggyback off of what you was talking about with the government, now with these job losses because of SCOTUS. So the RIF, which was happening within the VA, I can talk about the VA system. The RIF, there was a message that went out stating that now the RIF will no longer be 85,000 people, that they were happy and they were able to get enough people. It was this real nice, charming email that they sent to federal employees trying to soften what was supposed to happen, which was supposed to be like the biggest cut of all VA employees. Well, now they're saying, we're not doing it any longer, blah, blah, blah. So, but on the back end, a lawyer is telling the VA employees, hey, don't trust that too far, but go too far with that because there's still room for them to do a small RIF, which could be 30,000 people or 35,000 people. That's still a lot of people that may lose their job still. So anxiety is high. There's a lot of people still on the chopping block, possibly, and losing their federal jobs. And it's just not safe. I mean, never in this history of people working with the federal government, it was always about job security. And now, because of an administration, we are coming into work daily like, is this it? Is this, a final day? And it's veterans included. So, although they try to make it as if it's a win to say that they're not going to cut as many, it's still a possibility for you to lose part of your job or to lose your job. So, all this anxiety that this Decepticon administration has put out here is just it's not acceptable. People are definitely gonna need mental health behind this because there are a lot of people, and then there's no social programs to help once people, actually lose their job. If they lose their job, no social programs. They're stripping health care. They're stripping food stamp programs, people with children. It's just a lot of stuff happening as a ricochet effect. And in
Pretty.
other news, this is happening at TSA. Now, I don't know what many of y'all are traveling again on flights, but I have minimum. But now they're no longer requiring passengers to take off their shoes at the airport security checkpoints.
Why not?
Well, it says after nearly 2 decades, passengers going through air. Now, I thought this was all after 9/11, right? They
Yeah,
wanted to be very secure. Why they letting up?
we're not any safer. So why would
I
you?
mean, I don't get it, but calling it big news. They said this is big exciting news,
It's a
I
distraction. It's a
Department of
distraction.
Homeland Security. I don't trust none of them Decepticons
Oh,
in there. They don't have a reason for it besides that this was a policy change and that they're confirming that it won't be at all airports, but it'll start with some airports.
I mean,
So I'm gonna leave it open for y'all. What do y'all think that's about? Because for me, that's just another. I don't trust it. What are you allowing to smuggle through the airport? People do try to smuggle things through their shoes. What are you doing?
I mean, at this point, he doesn't have a problem with it. They don't want us. There's no protections. Why? Why? It's not his job to protect in his mind. But he took an oath. He swore an oath to protect this country, his people. But yeah. Anywho,
He
I,
don't even
I
know
don't
what that mean,
I don't
girl.
know. I don't know what taking off shoes would. It's not going to add any value. I mean, why would you not want to make sure that people don't have something nefarious in their shoe? Why not? Anywho,
I don't know.
I can't make heads or tails of
And
anything.
the
It
only
may be
other
a
thing I was
distraction.
gonna say is about BB wanting to nominate him for the Nobel Prize, and I'm like, why? But two criminals, I mean, they are the same. So I mean, I'm not shocked,
Not at all.
and he's not gonna get it, guys. He's not gonna get it.
I mean, why would you give somebody who is
He's a
doing
34-time
this
felon.
a Nobel Peace Prize? That is a slap in the face to that honor. We're gonna give the Nobel Peace Prize to a man who has 34 felonies
And just drop boom booms. I'm gonna just
on
say
Iran.
boom booms on Iran for unprovoked.
I mean,
So you
I don't
call
even.
that peaceful?
I don't know.
I just call that doing the bidding of Israel. But
I mean, I
mm,
guess if I drop the boom booms, will you please nominate me for a Nobel Peace Prize?
I guess
I
so.
did my part. Can you at least? Because someone else had nominated him, and then they rescinded it.
He doing anything he can to try to catch that man. I'm gonna tell you now, Trump. I know you in here,
You're
Frumpy.
not gonna catch
You ain't
him.
gonna catch him.
You
It
can
ain't
never
happening.
compete compared to
Just
Obama.
give it up.
Stop. Just stop.
Give it up,
You're
Frumpy.
making yourself look crazy at this point. You're not gonna ever. When I say ever, you're never gonna compare to Obama.
Never.
You can't even,
Never.
man. Oh,
Not
poor
on your
Grumpy.
best day. Now you wearing the darkest foundation I ever seen to man alive. You over here looking like a whole what did Miss Jack say? The border crossing was on his face. It was
Okay.
messed up.
I mean, his hair. I mean, the makeup is all in his hair and everything. I mean,
It was white here
white hair
and
and makeup all
chocolate.
in
I'm like, so is he doing his own like
his own version of blackface. What are we
blackface? What is he
doing?
trying to do?
What are we doing, Frumpy? No, we're not. You will never have this melanin as much as you want it. You will
It ain't gonna happen,
happen.
bruh. No matter, you can't get this melanin. You got to be born with it. And
You can't buy this.
he trying.
You
He
can't buy
wants to
this.
emulate the great Barack Hussein Obama. You
He
ain't
wants
got
to
his
be him.
swag. You ain't got nothing on that man. Cut it
Nothing.
out.
Nothing. He wants to be Obama so bad. Frumpy, we know you in here. Just give it up. It's not going to happen. Let's take
Girl, no,
a quick
he do.
commercial
Okay,
break.
wait a minute. Nikki Mills
Hold
said
on.
Morningstar. He said he got on Deep Dark by Mac. I'm gonna need them not to
Whoever
sell
sold it
that to
to him,
him no
no, don't
more.
sell that to him anymore.
I'm gonna knock it
Look,
out their hand like y'all
okay,
ain't
knock
selling
all
this
of
to
this stuff
Frumpy.
over. Stop it. Y'all know he don't. No,
No, he's seen now out here looking
he
ridiculous.
probably thinks that he. Let me go to break. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Tumblers for every personality. For the men, smoking trays and cutting boards. For the women, flower jewelry and honeybee coasters. Tic-tac-toe and dominoes. Sneakers, sneakers, sneakers. Sparkle Luxe keychains and trinket trays. Head over to ourplugs.com and receive a special coupon code for $7 off $35.
Yo, good morning, guys. I'm Don Marshall, aka Don Fu, CEO and owner of Bully Game Enterprises, also the owner of Nucci One Records. We'll be talking to you guys today, this morning, giving you a little bit more information about the company and what we do. We're into music, fitness, and fashion. We're going to talk about our single Blur today. Hopefully you guys like the song, and we're going to talk about some of the services that we provide here at Bully Game Enterprises. Can't wait to talk to you guys. See you soon.
Welcome to Morningstar Boutique, where the sun is shining and the style is all about you, your beauty, confidence, and individuality. Whether that's your perfect summer dress, a chic jumpsuit, or outfit you didn't know you needed, we've got you. Stop by ourplugs.com and check us out. We'll see you soon.
And I'd like you to do one more thing for me. Hold up 2 fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human initiative, and its value identity model.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We're also broadcasting on YouTube as well as TikTok. So you can check us out on all 3 spots. I think you were still talking when we went to commercial break, trying to explain to Frumpy that he can never, ever, as long as he lives, compare or connect to Obama. He just can't do it.
Yeah, I think at this point, we need people who work close to this demon to go ahead and break the news to him.
Somebody tell him.
Somebody break the
Somebody
news.
just pull him to
Now,
the side and just
maybe
whisper in his ear.
I don't know. Maybe they have, but he ain't listening because he went
Yeah.
darker. He went darker.
But doesn't he have a makeup artist?
He do it himself.
Do y'all think y'all tell me in the chat, do y'all
do
think
it
that he's
himself.
actually doing it himself? Or do you think that he has a makeup artist? Somebody
You
tell me.
think somebody would do that? Maybe they must hate him.
Let me ask P's Journey. Let me ask. I know you have a friend. Can you tell me is Frumpy doing his own makeup, or is someone doing that to him?
It's in the store.
I need to know. I really need to know. Who is doing that to this man? I mean, I get, when you get older,
Him doing it.
y'all really think
him in the mirror.
Okay,
Obama.
Tapping his face saying, I'm gonna give me some Obama shine. I promise you I am. So wait. P said his first time around he had an artist. P, can you
Melba said paint roller.
Can you confirm, Miss P, if he has a makeup artist now? These are the things I need to know. This is pressing on me because why is this man painting his face like this? I need to know these things. I need to know. While we try and figure out what's going on with this poor attempt at blackface, let's go ahead and talk about Pam Bondi and Frumpy arguing about the Epstein files. I don't care. I know he's on there. I don't have to see it for myself. I know he's on there. But he's upset. He went out today. Pam Bondi, girl, I know you listening. Because you know
he went off on her. What happened?
Went off. He went off on the media because they had asked him something about the Epstein file. And he's like, we got people dying in Texas, and this is what you guys want to talk about? Yes, this is what we want to talk about.
They need to know who you are, sir.
Oh, man, this man is losing it. Y'all, we are definitely in Hunger Games. This is Hunger Games with a side of upside down world. Let's go ahead. Did you have anything else you wanted to bring up?
I refuse to talk about anything else because it's a lot of craziness happening, but
it's all a distraction.
It's all a distraction. I'll start bringing our crew up today.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I'm reading the comment.
Nikki.
Reggie, you a mess.
Hey, Nikki. Hey, Shanika. Hey, Reggie.
Hey,
Hey
y'all.
y'all, how y'all doing?
Why would y'all bring us up? Uh-oh.
Right, mid laughter.
Somebody had some bad feedback. We're hearing some bad feedback. Why? We couldn't bring you up right now?
I'm thinking about the picture.
Oh, all of this.
If
I'm
y'all
hearing.
haven't
Hold
seen it,
on, hold on. Somebody, we're hearing some really bad feedback. Everybody go on mute, please. Everybody, because it's gonna play on the radio really bad. So, is everyone on mute? Nikki, I think it's your earphones. You're putting your earphones in, and we can hear that. Uh, yeah. All right.
Is it
All right. All right. I think that's better.
okay?
All right. So today we have healthy boundaries. I know we have Nikki up. We have Reggie as well as Mrs. Jack, Shanika Jack. So is Nikki frozen? Oh, okay. She's gonna drop and come right back. Um,
okay.
so I know we're gonna talk about healthy boundaries, but before Nikki comes on back, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it. Mrs. Jack sent us a picture today. Y'all, when I tell you, okay, so my day consisted of meetings today and reports today. Mrs. Jack sent me a picture today. And when I tell you, I bust out laughing because it's a picture of Frumpy. And his face is orange right here. I wish I could show it to y'all. Right here.
Orange?
Right
No,
here.
not orange.
Wait a minute.
Well,
Didn't it stop right
It's
here?
right
Like,
here.
brown. It's
Right here. Just
brown.
this part is brown. Okay?
it's
But
brown.
Yes.
this
Like he
part
It
right
used
cut
here,
right
dark
here.
Mac. Coach Nikki was right on.
this
Mm-hmm.
part right here, the forehead and the
Mm-hmm.
front,
Mm-hmm.
it's all like doo-doo brown.
But there's a distinct, there's
You
a
guys,
distinct
you guys,
cutoff.
let's use the correct word. It's brorange, like
Ooh,
brown and orange.
brown. Okay, so
Brorange.
still getting it. Maybe it's me.
Yeah, that's a bad feedback. Mm.
Reggie is coming
Let me make a suggestion, everybody. Turn the volume on your device down just a
down.
little bit.
Hey, Kamala Love. Yeah, turn your volume
Turn
down.
your volume on your device down some.
How about now?
You're good, Mrs. Jack.
Oh,
Is that
Reggie,
any better?
say it again, Reg.
Is that any better?
It is.
Okay, yes.
Nikki, you say
Nick,
something?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
yes. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. We had some real horrible feedback, but
yeah.
it was funny. We were laughing because y'all, that picture. I'm gonna make it my profile picture.
I wish you had it to show because there's like a line. You know how when you're doing makeup and they tell you, usually
Only.
they say, make sure you go down into your neck and blend in your neck and
Mm-mm.
don't leave just your face. But it's like a circle. And when he turned to the side, his ear and his hairline is
It's
all
white.
white. And the
All of
front part is like a dark, dark bronze. And it's like a cut. There's no blending, no nothing. And I was like,
I
I had
saw
to
that
explore
he was live on the news with
he was
that
on the
video.
yesterday. I saw it yesterday. So when you sent the picture, I knew exactly what it was. I said, because I had made the same comment, like, what is going on here?
Somebody don't like him. His makeup artist, I think somebody doing it on purpose because how do
He
you go?
doing it. What? He
And he
doing it.
lives in
He
Florida.
doing it. I
Well,
don't
he
care what
be in the
nobody
White
say.
House, so
He
That's
doing it.
bro range. BRO.
bro wrench.
Bro range. He's trying to get in the
bro range.
range of the brothers. It's bro
Bros.
range.
And it can also be spelled orange.
He wants y'all to believe he done set up and got him a tan. And
But his ears,
It's bronzer.
But he's
and they
just in the
wrong.
It's
range.
really
He's trying to be
bronzer.
in the
But he
range. He's not trying to go all the way. He's just trying to be in the range, orange and brown.
Dropping in our signal group, Miss Jack, when
Yeah.
you get a chance.
please put it in the signal group when you get a
I
chance.
will.
Okay, let's go ahead and hop on
I will
topic.
show you.
Healthy boundaries. So,
Nikki.
Nikki, you're up, honey. What do you have for us today as far as healthy boundaries? My healthy boundaries, don't send me nothing with Frumpy's picture on there. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk
Two.
about boundaries, because I feel like, again, in the country today, am I on mute?
Everyone go on mute so it's no feedback. Please, please, please. Go ahead, Nikki.
So I just wanted to bring up boundaries because I feel like people are not paying attention in today's world to other people's boundaries. Um, I've had people, I'm walking down the street with my dog, some lady telling me, driving up on me, telling me to make sure I pick up after them and, what are you doing? And it's like, okay, wait a minute. So I just feel like in the country these days, I don't think there's any boundary. So I just want to talk about that so people know what a boundary is.
Now, hold on. Now,
Is
now,
is
now,
there a line that you don't
now.
cross?
So you mean
The
to tell me
audacity.
that you're walking your dogs and you got big dogs and
Yes,
somebody pulled up on you and said you need to make sure that you pick up after your dogs?
yes.
Um, Let me do a PSA because I don't think people understand. White people, stop doing this. Just stop doing it. Black, we don't carry ourselves like this. And I'm tired. I'm just gonna say what it is. White people, stop rolling up on black people telling us what to do. Don't do that. It's not safe. Find you
Mhm.
something safe to do. Leave black people alone. Nikki, what did you say, honey? What did you say?
But she was an older lady, and I'm trying to be respectful because I at first I'm like, what? Because I didn't hear what she said, and she rolls her window down. I seen her sitting there watching. I'm like, what is she doing? And she rolls her window down, and she says it, and I still didn't hear her, and I'm like, excuse me, and then she says it again. I'm like, oh wait, I said, ma'am, move along. Like I've been having these off for years. Move along. I don't need you to tell me what to do with my dog because she got nasty about it when I said what the second time because I didn't hear what she said. And so she kind of got nasty, act like she was gonna park. Like, do not get out the car. I have a Doberman Rottweiler. Do not get out the car. They do not take kindly to people walking up on me. So,
Nikki,
yeah.
you know what, you guys? I had the same thing. I mean, not the same
Get out the
exact
car,
thing, but I
baby.
was removing some things from my car, and there was another car parked at a reasonable distance from me, just sitting there, and I just saw it sitting there, and then he just drove by me and said something, and then he drove off really fast. I'm like, what? I mean, it's really odd to me that we literally had similar experiences with that. I'm sure this happened to you in the past couple of days. And what is going on?
White people.
Yeah.
I can tell you what's going
So
on. They
tell us
have
what's going on, Miss Jack. Go
there's
ahead.
something in them internally that makes them feel like they are the people police. And they have
Oh,
Hmm.
the right to ask you
okay.
questions and ask you, why are you here? Do you have ID? Why are you doing something that I don't feel you should be able to be doing
Mm,
without me giving you the
mm,
authority? That's the problem. That's what the problem is. Because
mm.
I told him before I had a lady, because I am a disabled veteran. So yes, I have a plate, my license plate has disabled veteran. So I'm gonna park in the front where it says
Right.
disabled parking. And there was this white lady already parked in front of me, watches me get out my car, walked around to where I was. I gave her a look. We had a standoff for a few seconds till she got enough of the look.
Wow.
And then she
So
went
she was
on.
trying to verify if you were disabled enough for her to like
She
it.
knew enough not to say nothing though. She saw the look on my face because baby, me and the Dollar Tree parking lot, like, man, please. But they feel something inside them urges them to do it. It's a little man on their shoulder that says, go see what that black person is doing. Go see if she's doing something you think she shouldn't be. That's
Wow.
what the problem is.
Go ahead, Miss Morningstar. Go ahead. You go ahead, baby.
So this is the message to my white brothers and sisters out here. That little man is gonna get you hurt.
Yeah. He's gonna
It
get
is
you hurt.
really going to get you physically in danger. Please ignore that little person. Ignore that person. Just 2 years ago, the same thing happened to my husband, and he was playing his music and got out, and he was dropping something off, and he was playing his music sitting in his car. He hadn't got out of his car yet, and white person pulled up, got out of their car, stood in front of his window,
Mm-mm.
looking at him, staring him
Mm.
down.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So he got
Don't.
out of his vehicle
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
and he stared them back down because he from different parts of the streets. He don't play that.
Right.
And they got back in their car. He was like, "What?
Mm.
You know what I think they was
Y'all gotta
born
stop
without?
this."
You know what I think they was born without?
Say
Situational awareness. You know
common sense.
that danger feeling that they used to tell
Yeah.
us when we was kids. They don't get that. That
Y'all gotta stop.
on the movie where it's
Y'all gonna
like
have
you
to
in
stop.
danger, honey. You in danger. They don't get that feeling to realize like
Y'all
you
gonna have
are
to
doing
stop.
something dangerous.
White
But this
people
That's
is
what,
worse
PSA.
than days. You know, it's way worse than it ever used to be.
no, it is.
PSA.
That's control these
PSA.
days.
White people. We implore you to find y'all something safe to do. You know, we know that y'all feel emboldened because you come, we have social media now. So you feel like I can come on social media and say whatever I want and there ain't nobody gonna touch me. But you blur the lines because you get off social media and you get in your vehicle and you forget that you're touchable. We are asking as nicely as we possibly can for you to protect yourself by leaving us alone. That's the safest thing you can do. That's the best protection ever is leaving us alone.
Please don't get out in these streets, and I'm saying streets, thinking that it's sugar ain't sweet because it's real sweet in the streets, the streets. Okay, and
Something
people,
so simple.
and luckily, my good sister down here below me, Nikki, with her mild, she has a very
She's so
mild temper.
mild.
She's very mild tempered, and but them dogs, I know for a fact that's their mama, and they by any means necessary. If she would have stepped out of that car, it wouldn't been nothing she could do with it because them dogs is big.
And
Okay,
then they'd been on their
Rottweiler and
be
knees.
Doberman.
careful of who you dealing with. That's why I said, "Oh, ma'am, step out the car." See, that would have been me. I would have told her to step out the car. Come on, let's have a conversation.
Come on, let's talk
That would have
about it. I
been
can't hear
us.
you. I
That
can't
would have
hear
been
you. Come
us.
here. I can't
All
hear
three
Lord
of
have
us on
mercy.
top.
Talk
It would
right
have been
over
us.
here.
you. Come
Right
on.
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
Come on,
She
get
was
out.
standing right there across the
Stop
street,
playing with people.
watching me yesterday, and I was like, "Not today, not today." And then she kind of turned around and walked off. Like, I am not playing with you today.
She came
Like, keep
back
it.
today.
She was standing across the street watching me.
She a
I'm like,
neighbor.
not. Mm-hmm.
Is this a
But
the
this,
She
second
ain't
day?
got
And
cussed out.
is this the second day?
yes,
Oh my God.
Oh, so
she
we
She
didn't
ain't
have
get
say nothing.
cursed out.
She was
Oh,
just
so
standing
now
across the street.
it's a whole, this is a whole epilogue
All
we're
right,
talking about now.
Mildred. Okay, Mildred.
I just told her not today, not today. And she
Number
see my
two.
face, and kind of turned around and walked off. Like, I'm not playing with you, lady. Like, keep going. So, what are
Wow.
boundaries? What are boundaries? So, the boundaries are the limits that you set for yourself in your relationship. They are the rules and the limits that you set. So they teach you that you teach people through your boundaries how to treat you. So there's different types of boundaries. The first type is porous. And when I think about porous boundaries, Ms. Jack, I think about your folks on TikTok, where they're putting their bosses needs in front of their own. So with porous boundaries, you struggle to say no to others, and it's usually at the cost of your own values and the cost of, what you really want, your wants and needs. So that's why I think about kind of some of these people that we're talking about, and that Miss Jackie were talking about last week, is that they're putting his wants and needs above their own. And they're not going to say, no, this is wrong because this is my leader. This is who I decided I'm following, and whatever he says goes, even though some of that is not in line with my values. So that's the poorest boundary, where kind of you can't say no. You kind of go with the flow. You're doing what other people want you to do.
I would call those people pleasers until we get to the level of MAGA. Normal people pleasers are the ones that can't say no. They get used in the process and they feel kind of guilty about it. When you skip over to the level of MAGA, they have just completely been brainwashed into it,
Yeah, I
Hmm.
agree with that. Normal. There was the normal, and now we have MAGA, and they are, how some people are over the top, or they have clung to this cult. It's as if they have nothing else. Like their lives were empty before he came along, or
Hmm.
if they weren't, they had nothing going on, and then he came along, and so they now, oh, I have a group that I can cling to, and I can, try and piggyback off of them, and it's a group of us now. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we found out that hate is sometimes stronger than love, and that's what it was. They grouped into a clump of, okay, these people hate the same people I hate. It gives me power in numbers, so I'm gonna feel like I'm right because I can't possibly be wrong when I have millions of people who feel exactly like me. So it makes them feel like it's right.
I
Reggie
agree.
said last week that they had no value.
Yeah.
Right. And to your point, Miss Jack, this is one of the strategies that they use in advertising. It's like repetition creates connection. So the more times you hear a song, or the more times you engage with something, even if you don't like it, or even if you don't agree with it or think that it's right, the more times you engage with it, you begin to acclimate. That's why when you hear a song they play a song so many times, is because after you hear it 100, 200, 500 times, it becomes your program. You begin to like it. You begin to acclimate to it. So to your point, it's like if 1,000 people are agreeing with me, then it must be.
I must
I
be
was
right.
questioning it before, but it must be right now because 1 million people, 17 million people, 70 million people. Oh no, this has got to be. So yeah,
And I think that was the strategy.
of
I think
course,
that was the plan all along.
of
He even
course.
said, the man with the dead hand even said, if I tell them enough, they'll start believing me. And that's what happens. It becomes repetitive. It's like you said. It's like you said, Reggie. It's a program, and all
Yeah.
these people have been programmed
They have.
into believing a lie, into believing false hope, and even when the lie is right in front of your face, and then you have to make an excuse as why the lie was told to you. Now you're putting excuse. It's a bad relationship. It's a bad
It
relationship.
is. It's a domestic violence
Yep.
relationship. It is. It's a mental relationship that they're having, and this person is toxic, and they don't want to break free though. If you think about it, it's voluntary. They want to stay right where they're at.
And that's
Yeah,
how it
that's in
can look
Stockholm.
a porous boundary, because they are going to lose health care. They're losing their jobs. So it's at the cost of things that I want and need,
Hmm.
but I can't break from this.
It's crazy. It's
But you
crazy.
know what, you
Even if
guys?
it
Again, the
affects me,
validation. Go ahead, Miss Jack.
yeah, I was gonna say, even if it affects me, it lets you know how strong the hold is to actively see something that affects you physically or personally, and to still go forward with it is a strong hold on somebody.
And to your point, that's what I was about to kind of also sign off on. Is the validation is actually at our core what we desire as human beings, but more than anything. So people are sacrificing their well-being in exchange for that validation.
That's
And
crazy.
that's, yeah,
But
that
you're
is
right.
literally crazy.
That
But
is.
to gain approval to say, hey, you know what, you're a part of the team, you're with us. We're the winners, and so if you're with us, you're a winner. That's the validation that people are trading. Give me
Yeah.
that, and I'll give you my rights. I'll give you my health care. I'll give you my this or that.
Like I said, they had nothing prior. They had
Right.
nothing prior. Their lives
Exactly.
were just mediocre and they knew it. And so they're like, oh, he's coming along and he's a rich man. You are not going to
Yes.
be rich off of somebody else's wealth, especially if you're giving them all of yours. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7. The Change. Will be right back.
Hey guys, yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciated. God bless.
Hi, I'm Tori G., owner and founder of Say Something Tees, a statement t-shirt company. I got into this business by mistake, but the mission was no accident. As a Black female-owned brand, we do more than just sell shirts. We make statements. Our designs spark conversation, sometimes shady, sometimes in your face, but always bold. From the 92% collection, honoring Black women who always show up, to Dear Black Woman, a love letter to our strength and resilience. Our tees empower, uplift, and keep it real. Because at Say Something Tees, we believe your shirt should speak before you do. Shop Black owned, shop with a purpose. Find us at www.saysomething.biz and let's say something together.
Opalme Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skincare in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opalme Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day. And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection. This morning we're talking about healthy boundaries, and Nikki is sharing with us some tips, and we're just doing a open discussion on boundaries, and I think it's needed. It's past due, and I think that a lot of people may need to tune in and probably play this over and over. And if you know someone who needs to hear about boundaries, please be sure to share Our Plugs LLC, this show, to them so that they can actually understand where they're going. Because some of these people, I truly feel like they know what they're doing is wrong, but they just think that they get a pass for whatever reason. I don't know why, but that's just my thought process. Go ahead, Nikki.
Okay. So the next style of boundary style would be rigid. And with the rigid boundary style, the person keeps everyone at a distance. And a lot of times it's for their protection. And then in doing so, the trade off is they don't get to have new experiences. They don't have intimate relationships with people because they're keeping everybody at arm's length. So rigid is it's the total opposite of porous, where you're letting everybody in and at the cost of what you want and need, to now I'm not letting anybody in, and I'm going to protect myself from, so that maybe so I don't get hurt, or for whatever reason, whatever happened in, experiences you had that caused that, you're keeping everybody at a distance. So that's the next style.
That's usually for protection, like you said, either after grief, after losing somebody that you love, or, like you said, a DV situation, people close themselves off just to not get any further hurt. It usually doesn't last forever, but it's just something people do. I have to just shut everybody off or I'm going to, break down, is what I believe.
That
I
could be
think
something
it's
after experience, you know, where there may be some PTSD or something, or some depression, shutting yourself off from others so that you can protect yourself.
I think that, and I think with that type of, you call it rigid, right? I think that
Yeah.
could be harmful. It could be harmful to a person, because when you cut yourself off from society and from the world, you know, just think about the loneliness they might endure during that period because they just want to be left alone. And a lot of the times that's when people get caught up into their mental health, where they are into their head and they can't sort out situations. So I think, in my opinion, like that seems to be, it could be harmful, and that a person going through that probably would need to reach out to get some help, because we're not meant to be in this world alone.
Right.
Absolutely.
We were not, the greater creator, whom that may be to you, didn't wasn't the purpose wasn't for us to be alone. We were meant to be with people, with family, to be a community.
A
So
part of, you're
when you
right.
when you see a person like that, or a person who is acting in that manner, it would make me think this person needs some help, because it's not a normal, to me it wouldn't be a normal trait.
And to your very point, Miss Morningstar, you know, as they say, so above, so below, and so internal, also the external. If you look at your body is not a system where the members of your body are, you know, disconnected and separated from one another. Your body is a system of connections, and so to your point, the internal defines the external. That's why we need connections, because that's how we're built. That's your design from the root. And so, yeah, I mean, anytime you stray from what nature is, nature's blueprint, you're definitely headed for trouble.
I agree with that 1,000%. Um, there's a lot to unpack when you're listening to this, and it's especially if you're trying to figure out, am I the problem? Am I the problem? You know, and a lot of people have to unpack that. No one's perfect. Let's just get that out the way. No one's perfect, and we're not saying that we have all the answers, but doing a deep dive to see, am I the problem? Am I the one who's crossing these boundaries? Is a wise way of going about life,
Hmm.
because everyone, especially if you're not talking to someone and you're not um, going to counseling and getting that extra help that you need, everyone needs that. As I think it was Miss Morningstar said, you're not talking to anyone and you're lonely, and so you hitched your wagon to crazy,
Yeah.
and crazy isn't gonna get you anywhere. Just saying.
And a red flag, you guys, and y'all tell me if I'm right. You ever been around someone who will say, I don't need a man. I don't need him. I mean,
Of
which,
course.
it's okay to say what you don't need at the moment, but most people want a companion.
A
And
Right.
companion.
It's a social need.
and when you continuously hear people say that, then to me it's a red flag. When
It
you
is.
have to say it all the time, I can do this all by myself. I don't need this. I got
I
this and
need
I got
people. I
that.
don't know about I don't want to be by myself.
I don't
I
want to be
can
alone. I
be.
don't want to grow old by
What?
myself. And I
Right.
Exactly.
mean, and some people do, and I know it could be lonely, but some people they don't mean they have to get married. They just may have a companion, a friend,
Hmm.
we just all, I feel like we're built, like Reggie said, it's nature. We're built to need to, connect with
Have a
someone.
companion. Yeah.
Hmm. And
That's
and
it.
again, that style, that's because it's for protection. It's to
Mm-hmm.
protect you. I don't want to feel like I felt when my friend walked away from me or when I broke up with this person. I don't
Right.
want to feel the emotions, the strong emotions that I felt when this person passed away or when I lost that
Hmm.
job. So I'm going to build my world around me, and that way I won't disappoint myself.
Right.
But see, there are two ways to look at that, because you can focus on the pain, because lessons sometimes are painful, they're uncomfortable. You can focus on the pain or you can focus on the lesson. What did I learn from that experience?
Yeah.
Because being alone doesn't guarantee that you're not going to have another uncomfortable experience. You can have an uncomfortable experience alone too. But again, it's imperative to look at what you've learned from that experience. But even on a deeper dive, it is imperative for you to examine your relationship with yourself, because everything emanates from that. So if you're allowing people to cross boundaries in their relationships with you, that means that you are crossing boundaries in your relation. You are crossing boundaries in your relationship with yourself. And that's where the real core is. How are you experiencing you? Do you value
Mhm.
yourself? Can you love what you don't value? So if you don't value yourself, how can you love yourself? If you don't value yourself, will you protect what you don't value? If you
Wow.
don't value yourself, then you're just going to let anything come in. And so again, everything that happens, I always kind of, liken it to fruit, but the seed produces the fruit. Your relationship with you, the internal, is what produces what happens to you, the fruit,
Mhm.
the external. So you have to make sure the internal is right, your relationship with you, in order to correct the external.
You're right. I mean, you're spot on.
Yeah.
And if you're only by yourself, your thoughts are the only ones that you hear. There's nobody to come in and say, "Have you thought about it this way?" Or, what did you learn from that? Or what could we learn from that? You don't hear the other side of the story. You're only going to replay those same thoughts that having, and it could end in a depression situation. It could end in, becoming suicidal. There could be a lot of negative things that happen because if I'm keeping myself to myself, my thoughts are the only one we hear. And right now, I'm not thinking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. So that's a problem with the rigid way of having boundaries and not letting anybody in.
Yeah. I agree
That's
with
another
that.
one from MAGA.
Yeah, true. If they're only talking to each other, they don't get the same message all the time.
Right, right.
All
That's
they watch is
scary part.
Fox News. That's it. Oop, let me be quiet.
Yeah.
That's the scariest part about all of it is, they're talking to each other. What do they call it? A tunnel. What is it called? People, you're
An echo
talking.
You're in a
chamber.
An
silo.
echo
You're in a
chamber.
silo.
Echo chamber.
Chamber.
There you go.
Yes, you're in an echo chamber. You're in a
All you're
silo.
doing is telling each
Hmm.
other the same thing over and over and over
You
Right.
know
again.
what I don't like, Kitty? I don't like when they say that we're in the echo chamber because we don't like to talk to them. But this is the deal. This is the deal. I'm gonna talk like Joe. OG Joe. This is the deal. The deal is we talk amongst each other. Yes, we have a lot of the same values and thoughts. However, we are different. We don't
Yes,
always agree. We sometimes
and it's
have,
okay.
yes, we push back on each other sometimes. Like, hey, I love you, but let me tell you this. This is my thought on this. So I don't feel it's an echo chamber because we are discussing topics. And
For them, it's just
and when
deflection.
you yeah, when you don't let people in, that's dangerous.
Right.
Mhm.
And we
That is
see how
that's
dangerous it is.
harmful.
It has become dangerous, as more dangerous than most people could recognize. To not be able to take constructive criticism, or to not be able to have one out of 100 thoughts that's separate from everybody else,
They're all supposed to walk the same walk,
that
wear the
don't
same
feel weird.
clothes. That's
Your
if y'all
survival instincts don't kick in at all.
if you think about it, think about how they all want everything to be exactly the same. Blonde hair, blue eyed. They all wear the same white robe with the hood on it.
Like
Everything
handmaid's
is
tale to me.
hands, man's. Yeah,
She went all the way.
everything is what Stepford wives.
Miss
Everything
Morningstar.
is
She went all the
everybody
way
has to do the
inside the house.
same thing the
You know
same
it,
way.
Reggie.
Nothing can be different. If you're being different, then something's wrong with you. Everybody, we should have the
Absolutely.
same kind of house, drive the same kind of cars, eat the same bland,
Now that's the
unseasoned
side
chicken,
eye.
you
That's the
know,
side eye you want to give.
That's a Stepford wife syndrome
Stepford
right there.
wives. And that's what it is if you think
Oh,
about it. That's why
goodness.
they clung into this cult because
The
they can
code.
all say
The
we
code.
are just alike. We want pure blood. That's why, keep the racist, straight. We want all white America. Don't nobody don't nobody want mayo, okay? I
We
don't
need
even
some
eat
seasoning. We need
mayo.
some flavor, baby. We need the
You're gonna need
flavor.
some seasoning.
So
Don't
nobody
nobody
wants
want
Mayo,
that.
California.
No, we gotta
No,
put some salt
DJ
in
Kitty.
there. Some
No,
no,
nobody
Lowry's
wants
if
Mayo,
needed.
Texas.
no. We need some seasoning,
We
What
need
about
some
Mayo,
paprika.
some
Mayo,
hot
Missouri?
sauce.
What about Mayo, Missouri?
No, we
I
don't
like
want none of
Nobody.
that.
mayonnaise.
Go back to the
Okay,
Caucasus.
okay.
Let's go
Go
ahead.
ahead,
Let's
Nikki.
go
Ooh,
ahead.
wait, because we start cutting up. We
Okay,
do
we're
cut
And
about to
up.
start.
remember,
Go ahead.
boundaries are about limits and setting, limits with people and stuff. So they feel it because you can feel when your boundaries are being crossed. They're just not going to say anything because I want to be accepted into this group of people. So you can,
Exactly.
it gets uncomfortable. You can see it on their faces sometimes. So I know that they do have some boundaries. They're just being porous with it. They're just letting folks, walk all over them
Right.
because they want to be a part of this group.
Right. The validation. Like I said, they're trading the validation for
Everything.
everything.
Please
Am I
Well,
give
right?
keep
everything.
being that way. That is
Am I-
insane to me.
that
Their
that but that
entire
that,
way
that
of
is because
being.
they have no healthy. They have the existence of a healthy relationship internally. How they experience themselves is so horrible that they are seeking for it externally outside of themselves, and they're willing to do anything to receive that approval.
You know
Right.
where I think it started?
Where? In the
Because
womb?
to actually follow him 100%, you had to forego all of the horrible things we learned about him in the beginning. All the things that came to light, you had to say, I don't care about any of those things he did. I'm going to follow him regardless because he is who I want. I don't care about my morals that I had before. I'm willing to forego all of those things, and that's how we got here. Because you had to do that. For the ones
I
that
don't
say they
think
are
they know though,
Christian,
sis.
they
I
think
don't
they
think
said they
they
were Christian
know.
though.
I think they are so mesmerized by the money and the fame.
It's not your money. You're not gonna get
It
it.
ain't their money
You ain't
though,
He's
got no
but
taking
money,
your
really.
money. He's
But
they
see,
taking your
that's
money.
he's doing everything that they dreamed they could
exactly.
do.
So they're
And in
living
It
their
tricked
in
vicariously.
their
them
Yep.
in
into
their mess
giving more
in their
care
messed
about
up
rich people.
but in their messed up delusional brain, they really believe that this is the beginning to them becoming who he is, living that
Exactly.
life because he's going to
Exactly.
So they
include
want to wear diapers too.
he's made them feel inclusive as if I'm going to bring you into this world
Right. Right.
even if they
He's
Well,
got
living
one
the
tooth in
standard
their
that they're
mouth. That's
trying to
like
reach.
Which
Yeah, he's living
I,
the
I,
standard.
I
I'm
said
sorry.
it
Go
on
ahead.
my live. I said it on my live. One thing they don't realize is that you guys painted your vehicles, swarmed your house with Trump flags and all this merchandise. You're not even realizing that you are the mark because all of the rich MAGA, his rich friends didn't have to do any of those things. And that's who you're striving to be, but he only cares about them. You guys did all the dirty work thinking you're going to get some kind of connection or close to him some little way. They don't even have to do that because they're using you and they don't even see it.
and I
It's
love the way you
wild.
say that because you say it with such elegance and class, and when they hear you say that they be like, huh?
They get mad when you call
Bruh,
me all kind of
tweet, tweet.
names.
They
well, it's the
upset.
truth, and I don't think that they're ever going to be able to accept. But we're going to
Yeah,
continue to advise them that
they
no
are the
matter
mark.
how much money he has, you will still be broken in that
Gonna get
trailer.
it.
No
You will
matter how
still be
many Super
broken.
Bowls.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Right. No matter
No
how.
matter how many. You're right,
Woo, woo,
Reggie.
woo, woo.
Super super Super
Yeah.
Bowls or NASCARs or
You will
whatever.
not get a ring.
It
You
will
will
not
not
be
get a
you.
trophy. You will
Nope.
not get
They
a
won't even
bonus.
let you come to Mar-a-Lago.
Exactly.
Just like he think he gonna turn into Obama. It ain't happening, Captain. It ain't happening, Captain. It ain't happening.
He's trying to get that validation, Miss Morningstar. He's trying to
Who
get that
begs?
V.
Who begs
Trying to
for it
get
no
that
better?
Who gonna break
validation.
the news to him, y'all? Who gonna do it?
Who
I want to
who
call. Can
begs
I do?
for it?
Please let it be me.
I
Please
just
let
Make
me
hope.
an
be the
HR
one to
call.
tell him you are never getting any type of prize. Never. Let
MAGA
me
is the
be.
prize that he won. He won that prize. Hold on to that one,
You
sir.
better hold on to it,
Maybe
because
Barron will
that's
cut
all
him
you're going to
some.
get.
You
The
know.
administration right now is the best picture of boundaries. People crossing each other's boundaries because they talk to each other any kind of way. They'll say whatever they want to about the other one, and then the next day they have their back. So they are definitely like the picture perfect, porous and rigid boundaries that examples of that we could see live every day.
You're right.
They have none. They have none.
And they won't have any. And Priscilla put a comment up in YouTube. She said the Republicans are different from MAGA, but are they though?
I don't know.
But are they?
I
I'm gonna
don't
have
I
to
knew
know.
you would.
disagree. And
I,
I like Priscilla.
I love
The
Priscilla.
Republicans
I
are aiding and
don't know.
abetting. They are
They're
aiding
Yes.
and
enablers.
abetting.
Yes, they're enabling.
They're
Yes, they
enabling. They're
are.
aiding and abetting
I
right now.
think they know they are more aware of the cognitive
Hmm.
delusion that's
Right,
happening.
right.
However,
Those
they
are
However,
are such
figureheads.
Behind.
demons
Hmm.
that they
yes,
are okay with it happening
yes.
It's
for
kind of
their
like
benefit. For their
aggression is an
benefit.
anger. You know what I mean? So it's like Republicans are the anger part, and the MAGA is the aggression. It's
Exactly.
Maga's delusion.
it's where they act out the anger. So I think that's what it reminds me of, right? The Republicans are kind of it's
That's
like anger
good.
and aggression
That's a good
between
one.
anger and aggression.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
I'm gonna.
they don't even like him either. Some of them don't like him either,
But
but
they
because he is
But
the
they.
figurehead, they still have to go with whatever he says because we have to show unity. We cannot have a little leak in our cauldron or whatever. We
that's
And
have to
he is
show
their
unity
that's
and
demon.
regardless.
he is
We
their
have to
We're
access to
talking over each
power.
other.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Hmm.
Okay, so I was just gonna say y'all were talking over each other and we couldn't hear. Um, when you sit back and you really think about the difference between MAGA and Republicans, in my mind, the only difference is Republicans don't wear the red hat because they still vote and they still
Mm,
accept the craziness that he does.
mm-hmm.
They
That's the
still have to
only
get elected.
difference.
Hmm.
They still vote. I'm gonna go. My tablet is tripping.
I
Um,
get what Priscilla's saying. They have different reasons. However, they have two different reasons, but once those reasons come together, they meet in the middle and they go with it and they unify. So to me, that makes them equally as horrible
Yep.
as MAGA. So when they say I'm a Republican, I'm not a MAGA. Which way did you vote? Because there's plenty of Republicans who voted
Exactly.
Democratic. They voted
Exactly.
on the Democratic side because they could not handle those people. I would say are more patriotic than people who call themselves Republicans that are in the House or Senate.
Yes. And then another part with Republicans is you can see how willing they are to go along with the group, right? Because when they had them actually say, "Hey, stop doing town halls," because they didn't want to actually defend themselves to their constituents. They actually stopped doing town halls or put out like these big boards full of rules so they wouldn't even have to defend everything that they were doing. So I call them all cowards, and they do play a huge part in all of the MAGA crazy that's going on.
yeah. They got to play their position. Each one of them has positions. They're playing that role. They have MAGAs playing the ultimate crazy. They have the Republicans playing their role where they try and straddle the fence and act like, oh, well, I don't agree with that, but I'm still going to vote for it.
Right.
And then they have the Decepticons that are rolling out. Project 2025. This was actually it's in Project 2025. If you read Project 2025, you will see it's just like watching the movie Sinners. You will see
Oh,
each one of these
yes.
falling into place. You will see it.
If
Mhm.
y'all and I see what you're saying too, Priscilla. You got some good points. No different than voting all blue because we do have sickle fans that vote all
You're
blue.
right.
But then we have people who because I'm not going to agree with everything that the blue says. Just because they're blue, it doesn't necessarily mean that I might support a Republican on some issues. If I
Hmm.
saw one that had some issues, I support it, you know. But thus far, that has not been.
That hasn't
It's not
happened.
been the case,
Not
you
lately
know.
since Liz
Not
Cheney.
lately. It has not been
Liz
the
Cheney,
case.
she was, and that was just because she was going after
Yeah, she's
him
still a
hand in
demon.
hand.
She's still a
And
But
look
she's
what
still a
demon.
happened
demon.
to her. Exactly.
Let's not forget about her.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like before now, people felt okay to go either way. People could vote either way. They
But I
could say,
respect her.
I am a Republican, but I do agree with the Democrats on A, B, C, and D. Now it's like they can't say that. They can quietly sit there and I think if they're not saying anything that it's inferred, that I don't agree. But if you're
Yeah,
not saying, you're helping. So
yeah,
before
Exactly.
there was a time where if you were a Democrat or Republic, you could say how you really felt.
yeah.
Now it's like I can't really say, but I'm not going to say anything, and that way you guys can just decide how you think I feel.
I mean,
They're
if you
in
think
fear of
about
losing their job. They
if
said that the other day.
if you think about the Republicans, they're not going to do that at all. They're not going to vote against him, and that's why I say, are they? Republicans and MAGA are different. They're just playing different positions. They're not any different.
Was a handful that did. A handful, maybe four. Was who
Yeah, and they
that went
resigned.
they got kicked out.
Right.
Exactly. They
Yeah,
were called
hmm
they
There
were
were
called
6 people that
what was the
Donald Trump
hold on.
called to the White
Hold
House.
on. What were they called? Come on, y'all. Give me the name they called the
Uh,
Republican.
they call them
Rhinos.
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 Hmm.
They were called rhinos.
Yeah,
Although they were still true Republicans, they voted for Kamala Harris because they saw the harm that this buffoonery and these Decepticons were going to bring.
yeah,
hmm
So that is what I would call a true Republican.
yeah. But they
Because you
don't.
voted like a patriot. You voted for the betterment of the
No,
country, not for your pocket.
they voted country over party.
That's it.
Now, the, the ones that are in now. Oh, I hear static. The ones that are in office now, um, they're not doing anything. When I say anything, they're not doing anything against him. Whatever he says goes. So that's why I have to push back. And I agree with you, Priscilla, on a lot of things. But MAGA is just like when you're playing basketball. You got your point guards, you got your centers, and you got your shooters. Okay? MAGA and the Republicans, they're working hand in hand so that shooter can score. MAGA's
Yeah.
going to keep us distracted and keep with the craziness, the outlandish. You know that he's taking your rights away, but you're still out here supporting and putting on your little stupid red hat and I will vote for Donald Trump while your people getting deported. Craziness. Then you got the Republicans who are still saying, I don't agree with the bill or I didn't read the bill and I don't, but I'm still going to vote for it. And then you got Frumpy and the Decepticons in there causing havoc and they're playing against all of the American people and we're losing because we are instead of coming together we're here still arguing with MAGA. That's why I don't talk to MAGA. For what? What's there to talk about?
I refuse. I refuse.
What's there to talk about? And I make no apologies about that. We've got
I
about
talk to
2
them
minutes
for
left.
entertainment purposes when I feels like it.
I can't because I'm tired of my page getting bopped and taken down because I curse a lot. I don't curse on the radio, but when I'm on TikTok, I cannot control
Yeah, Kitty,
myself.
I understand you. You know,
No,
you gotta.
I had to go get me a fan to control myself. But we have about a minute left. You guys, thank you,
Nikki,
Nikki. This was a wonderful topic.
did she
If
get through
that
everything?
probably not. We can
I
do
did
a
not,
part
but
two.
it's okay.
We can
I
do
was
a
like,
part two.
probably not.
We can do a part two. Hey, the floor is ours. But you be careful that that lady shows up tomorrow. Let your dogs off the leash. Any
Put me
last
on camera.
words, Nikki?
Call me on FaceTime.
Let them off the leash.
Tell them come over and meet the puppies.
Come on through. Come outside. Nikki, any last words, sweetheart?
Just some tips about healthy boundaries real quick is to be assertive and firm, and use your values as kind of a compass on how, and how you feel on as a compass, if, for yourself, if somebody's stepping on your boundaries and not allowing you to, be who you are. Tell people what you want firmly, be assertive, and it's okay to say no, and teach people how to treat you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your wisdom and your words. Use your words, but let the dogs loose tomorrow. Go ahead, Reggie. I ain't playing.
Value identity is essentially identifying your value. Identify your value so that you don't cross your own boundaries and act in ways that will only end up hurting you.
Absolutely.
Validate yourself so that you don't have to find it with people that really don't care about you, but that are just telling you things that sound nice and that, let it come from you.
Absolutely. Mrs. Jack, any last words?
Yes, my last words are please practice respecting other people's boundaries. The easiest thing to do is to leave people alone and walk away. Period.
Agreed. Agreed. Mrs. Morningstar, any last words?
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. No, but thank you, Chad. Everybody, it was a great show. Boundaries are very important, and we have to practice setting. We all have certain boundaries. We got to practice on not crossing, even with our people we love. So it's a learning process. But yeah, you tell the lady walking the dog and give her that warning.
Just let the dogs
One
know.
more time.
No, you done said 2 days.
Come
You
here. You
did
want
it
to come
2
pet
days.
my puppy?
Tomorrow, let them
Y'all
off the
have a
leash.
good day.
Y'all have a
WKRA,
wonderful
listening
day. Y'all have a
audience. We
wonderful
love y'all.
day. Don't go around bothering people. Don't walk up to strangers trying to talk to them and tell them what to do.
With
Y'all
your
have a wonderful
business.
day.
Mind
Hey
your
y'all,
business.
it's DJ Kitty and Miss Morningstar. We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC. Be sure to tune in.